Well, hello and welcome to this session of ExecuNet Masterclass. I'm your host, Tony Vlahos, and my guest this hour is the CEO and founder of Women in the Boardroom, Sheila Ronning. So you want to join a board, or at least you're thinking about it. Well, today Sheila will tell you everything you need to know about boards and board service, including how to unlock the boardroom door and become effective once you enter. Really important stuff for female and male executives, and part of our commitment here at ExecuNet to bring you trusted advice you can use to make the best decisions for your career, your work, and your life.
So, for years, boards really were looking for that financial expert, and I've seen a lot of it that is changing a lot, and it's changed a lot, especially in like the last 3 to 5 years, where they're not just looking for a financial expert. So that's really been opening up the door for a lot of other, titles. It's not just the CEO or the CFO. So here are some different, if you can fit into these categories, these are what we're seeing that, boards are looking for. So whether, turnaround specialist, yes, of course there's the financial expert on there, but, we even have companies that are coming to us with, they're looking for that entrepreneurial spirit, right? So really, I'm not going to read through all of these, but it's just good to know that boards are definitely looking for these. I mean, especially that privacy and data security expert, the digital expertise, the marketing and communications, operations. And then the next slide will tell you kind of the highlight of what we are seeing with all of the different board openings that we are getting in. These are the key skills that they have been looking for. So it really covers the gamut. International experience is, really becoming a big one. In addition to, the risk and technology, the talent management, M&A, again, sales and marketing operations. So now we're going to get to the different tips on to help you get there if you're interested. So one, of course, you want to know, why do you want to serve? And, you're not going to get there if you don't have a plan, so definitely have a plan. Those board documents that we talked about earlier, make sure that you have those, that really highlight your background for board positioning. They're different from a regular resume or a marketing bio. And make sure that you know what your value proposition is. Have that elevator pitch down. And make sure that when you are, and we'll get into networking in the next couple of slides, but it's really important to have that elevator pitch down and going into those conversations, talking to your network, showing them that you are ready. You're not going into it as asking for guidance or asking for help, because a lot of times then, if you're going into it as a mentor-mentee, that person is not going to feel that you're ready, and they're not going to put your name forward or make any introductions. So your personal brand is key. Make sure that you, have an excellent reputation in your, current job and industry. Always bring your A game to whatever you do. Just to go back to the personal branding too, it's really important for LinkedIn these days to make sure that that's up to date and that you really are highlighting your, your background, your accomplishments, your impacts on your LinkedIn profile as well. Now, if you don't know what the responsibilities are of a director, educate yourself. There's tons of webinars out there that you can watch, on demand that really will give you in-depth information on what those board responsibilities are. If you have no board experience, you can consider hospital boards, government boards. You can talk with fellow, friends that maybe they're entrepreneurs and, volunteer to sit on their advisory board. One thing I, forgot to mention in the compensation was that, and I think it was on the slide, but I just didn't mention it, but it is really important to remember that everybody needs to have skin in the game. You're giving your knowledge and your time, and you need to be compensated. So don't go on any advisory boards for anyone and not be compensated. I just feel like it's, they'll take more value in what you're saying when they're actually compensating you. And you know what? When you're on this journey, you need to be in it for a long haul. It takes a long time to get there. You need to do the work. There's no quick, easy way to that top job. So you really do need to have those board documents. You need to have that elevator pitch down, knowing what your skill sets are, what your value add is, what makes you different from everybody else, what can you bring to the board that they don't already have. But, you know, I always have to our members and say, hey, if you are interested in this, you need to make sure that you're dedicating, you know, at least 5 hours a month. If you don't have that kind of time, and again, that's 5 hours per month, that's really not that much time, but you do have to be determined and do the work.
To do with, if you're not part of an organization like Women in the Boardroom, how would you begin your search ordinarily? It's a pretty fundamental question. Sorry we didn't address it earlier, but how does that actually start?
Well, so there's no postings, right? I mean, again, there are those companies out there that, you know, they say they'll send you the board openings if you sign up. But I just, listen, if those worked, then we wouldn't be at the numbers we're at today, right? Mm-hmm. So there's not going to be the postings like a job. You really are going to have to reach out to your network. You could certainly, if there's certain companies that you're interested in, you could follow them, and, you know, there might be some off chance that you'll know that they have a board opening, but a lot of times those boards are keeping it under wrap. I even talked to a guy one time where he is on a bank board, and he said, I got to tell you, Sheila, when we know we're going to have a board opening, so like if there's 11 board members and our charter, you know, says that we need to have 11 board members, we actually will change our charter to have it say 10. And the reason why is he said then we go out and we figure out who we want to have on the board so that our shareholders don't get involved in telling us who they want on the board. We go find it and we change the charter back to 11.